Good day, everyone. Today we are this is the first session of our CSEC Maths Paper 2, number 1. And in this session, we will be breaking down all the questions and what you need to know to answer Paper 2, number 1. Right, so this is the first session. Right, so CSEC Mathematics Paper 2, number 1, breakdown session. So just be review. It's not a review session, it's a breakdown session of what you need to know. Right, now, in paper number 1, paper 2, we have two sections being tested. Number theory and consumer arithmetic. Right, in in section 1, right, the topics being tested on is BODMAS with fractions and decimals. Then we have significant figures, standard form, decimal, approximation, and ratio and proportion. These are all the things that will be tested on. Well, not all of them. It may be a combination or some of them. This is these topics that are going to be tested in section 1. Then section 2, which is consumer arithmetic, is percentage change, profit loss, discount VAT, basic wage, overtime, compound interest, depreciation, simple interest, and foreign exchange. These are the topics that will be coming on consumer arithmetic. Right, so immediately let's just go into the past papers so that we can see. And while I am going through these past papers, I will be also using my calculator right here to show you guys how you would use your calculator to answer these questions efficiently, and also how to use a calculator to check to see if your answers are correct. Yeah, so the first one that we will be doing is January 2025, paper 2, number 1. Now please note this question, or these questions, I will be just going through it very quickly. There are other videos on this channel that has me going through it in detail, so you can check out those videos to see how to do it. But right now I'm just going to go through these questions very quickly and show you how exactly you would use your calculator to check. Now this question 1A says using a calculator or otherwise. So it tells you that you can use a calculator. So immediately I'm going to pull up my calculator. Right, and let's just read the remaining. Determine the value of 3/5 of 1/8 plus 5/12 divided by 1/9, giving the answer in the exact form. Now this question here is a combination of operations, meaning there is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It's a combination of those, right? What we need to recognize is when we use BODMAS, BODMAS tells us the order the order in which we do our operation, right? So according to BODMAS, we would have done the brackets first, and in your brackets you carry out BODMAS. So if we have BODMAS, right, BODMAS, we do brackets first, which is 1/8 plus 5/12 divided by 1/9, right? We do the brackets. Is there any power off? No. Is there division? Yes. So you're going to be doing this part first, and then you're going to be adding. Now this is just in case they did not tell you to use a calculator, right? So if they did not say use a calculator, you do need to show all your working, right? You would divide first, then add, and that would give you your answer for your brackets, and off means to multiply. So this part here, 5/12 divided by 1/9, 5/12 multiplied by 9/1, 3, 4, 15/4. Then we have 1/8 plus 15/4. Right, LCM, denominators are different, so we have to find LCM. 8 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2. This is 1 plus 30 is equal to 31/8. Then we have 2/3 multiplied by whatever we solve for the bracket, which is 31/8. Now at this point, if you are not sure and you find that your answer looks weird, you can use your calculator. So let's say the division. Right? We have 5 over 12 divided by 1 over 4, 1 and 2 over 3, which when we break this out, break this down, 4 into 15, 4. Sorry, the calculator is supposed to have 1 over 9, not 1 over 4. So this is 3 and 3/4. 15 over 4 is 3 and 3/4. Right? So you know this is correct. Then you say 1 over 8 plus 15 over 4. You press equal, you get 3 and 3/7, which most likely 31 over 8 is that. And then you say 2 over 3 multiplied by 31 over 8 is 2 and 7 over 12, which would be your answer. Right? Let's just do it. 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 8, 4. So you have 31 over 12, right? 12 could go into 31 2 times, 24. Then the remainder would be 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Is that the answer that we got? Yep, 2 and 7 over 12. So you know that is correct. Right? How you would do this in your calculator, right? This is or otherwise. I did the or otherwise first, right? How you would do this in your calculator is 2 over 3 multiplied by 1 over 8 plus 5 over 12. You see how I have my open bracket, right? Divided by 1 over 9, close brackets. Your calculator is programmed to do BODMAS, so it will do the division and then the addition and then the multiplication, right? However, you do need to put your brackets. It tells the calculator, I need you to solve the brackets first and then multiply by 2 over 3. Right? You have 2 and 7 over 12. So you know that your answer is correct. The next question says 3 and 1 over 4.2 divided by that, given your answer in standard form. So you see they have, this one has decimals in it and then they have a standard form part. Right? So what I would do, put exactly what it has, 314.2 minus, ooh, I have to have 2 subtracts, minus, open bracket, 26082 divided by 52164, close brackets. You press equal, you get 313.7. Right? So that's 300. What I would do, just to show the examiner I know what I'm doing, 314.2 subtract, divide this, I believe you will get 0.5, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just check to see if that is correct. Right, so let's check and see. Delete, 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 delete. So we have, yeah, so this is actually 0.5, and then when you subtract this, you'll get your answer that you had above, which was 303.7. This is equals to 303. What am I saying? 300 and, yeah. 313. 313. Yeah, 313.7. Right? And now, that is not the answer. They said they want it in standard form. Now, standard form is where you have one digit in front of your decimal. You're multiplying by 10. And then your power depends on how many places you shift your decimal point. Right? And whether it's positive or negative depends on if you shift it to the left or to the right. Right? So if I have to change this to standard form, I'll change 1, 2. So I know that I shift my decimal point 2 places. Why? Because I want one digit in front of my decimal point. That is 3. So 3.137. Again, it's always multiplied by 10. And because I shifted to the left-hand side, my power is going to be positive. And the number of places, so it would be positive 2. And that would be your answer for this. This question is 2 marks. And although, yes, you are using your calculator, you need to show them the process in which you did it. Right? So you would put 26,082 divided by 52,164 is 0.5. 314.2 minus 0.5 is 313.7. And then you just show that you shift your decimal point. Now, please note your calculator can put your answers in standard form. Right? I believe, is it mode? No, it's not mode. It's setup. Right? And you're looking for FSE, which is 1. And the other name for standard form is scientific notation. So 1. So if I have 313.7 and I press equal, it's giving me in standard form or scientific notation. 3.137 multiplied by 10 to the power of 2. Again, let's do that. Set up, you're looking for FSE. It may not be the same number that I have under FSE, but you're looking for FSE. So FSE, you press 1 or whatever numbers under FSE that will tell you how to get this, right? 1. And you would not see standard form. They will use SCI, which is scientific notation. You click it and it will, then you put your number and press equal and it will give you that number in standard form. Right? And then to go back, you press set up, FSE, whatever number, and then norm. Right? You press down. Sometimes you don't have to press down, but you're looking for NORM and 3, and then it will go back to normal. Right? If that is, yeah. And that is how you would do this question. Let's record. Part B. Now part B, you saw that part A, this is our number theory. And then part B, I think ratio is in consumer arithmetic. That section. I don't think that's number theory. But either way, one of the parts does always be number theory and the next part does be consumer arithmetic. Whatever topic they may choose. Jim packed several cases of fruit juice for sale. Each juice contained 24 boxes of juice in 3 different varieties. We have a 2:5:1 ratio, respectively. How many boxes of pineapple? Now, I shouldn't talk like that. The order in which they list out the fruits, or the order in which they list out the items, is the order the ratio does be in. So if they said apples, I'm just putting A to O, which is oranges, to pineapples, right? The order, that's apples, oranges, and pineapples. Then it would be 2:5:1. So 1 part of those 24 boxes is pineapple juice. So let's find out how many parts, the total number of juices, the total number of parts in a box. Right, so 2, 5, and 1. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know 8 parts is equal to 24 boxes. Yeah? So now we want to know pineapple, which is 1 part. So if 8 parts is 24 boxes, then 1 part would be 24 divided by 8, which is equals to 8 3s are 24. So we know how many boxes of pineapple juice were in each case, 3 boxes. And that is how you would do this question here. Yeah. Something was wrong with this question, and if you look at one of my videos with the playlist of January 2025, you'll see the solution. Instead of all of the boxes, it's supposed to be 36 boxes. 36. So now let's just work from using this. Let's work it out. The profit gain from selling 36 boxes of pineapple juice is $35.64. Each box of pineapple juice was sold at $3.34. Show the cost price of box of juice is show that the cost price of a box of juice is $2.35. So first off, we say if 36 boxes, we're looking at the profit. Hold on, no. We'll do that after. Right. So first off, let's find let us find the profit for one box. So profit for one box is equal to $3.34. The difference between your selling price and your cost price, $2.35. So the profit would be, I'm going to use my calculator. The profit for this would be 3.34 subtract 2.35, which is equals to 99 cents. So the profit for one of these is going to be 99 cents. All right? Then what you could have done if they did not tell you the 36 boxes, you could have said, well, number of boxes, right, would be the total profit, which is 35.64 divided by 0.99, and that would give you the number of boxes, right? If the question asks you to find the number of boxes. So 35.64 divided by 0.99, which is 36. So you could have done that to find out the number of boxes. I guess that is why this was 3 marks. It's 36 boxes because they said show that, right? And then after you find the number of boxes, you could have said your profit for the 36 boxes is equal to, if for one box is 99 cents, then for 36 would be 99, which don't make, that's just redundant. But anyway, 0.99 multiplied by 36, which would give you 35.64. All right. Right. So I was going with doing this. I was going with if you did not know how many boxes it was, right? So I just showed that it was 36 boxes. However, the question says show that the cost price. So that is, so we know that it's 36 boxes, right? Let's erase this now. And now let's do the actual question. The question says, show that the cost price of a box of pineapple juice is $2.35. We know that your profit, right, for 36 boxes is equals to $35.64. They want to know the profit. Show that the cost price. Right, so we will look at the profit for one box would be $35.64 divided by 36, which would give you 99. That is the profit for one box. Yeah, we know that your profit is equal to your selling price minus your cost price. They're telling you to find the cost price. So 99 cents is equal to $3.34 minus some value. I put on a box, but you could put X. Alright? Now, to make X a subject, we always want our unknown to be positive. So we're going to carry across that negative. Anytime you carry something over the equal sign, it's positive. So that's x plus 0.99 is equals to 3.34. So now I'm going to say x would be the difference of $3.34 minus 0.99. So x would be $2.35. And that is how you would have done this question if they gave you the number of boxes. Alright? Question says calculate the percentage profit made by the boxes made on the sale of the boxes of pineapple juice. Now this is 1 mark. Profit percent. If you remember your formula, you can do this. Profit percent is equals to your profit always over your cost price. Whether it's loss or anything, it's always over the original price. Multiply by 100 over 1, which is 0.99 over your cost price, which was $2.35. Multiply by 100 over 1, which is, use your calculator. Don't try to do this, on your own. You don't want to be taking too much of time trying to do this. So 0.99 divided by 2.35 multiplied by 100 is 42 point. I'm always putting my, actually, let's put it in decimal. 42 and 6 over 47%. Alright? 42 and 6 over 47%. Or if you're putting it in decimal, please make sure it is the 1 decimal place. That is the standard. Right now, if you get your answer as a fraction, like this, and you want it as a decimal, press the ABC button. It will convert it back to decimal. So if you have your answer as a decimal and you want it as a fraction, you can press that ABC button. Right, so it'll be 42.1% to 1 decimal place. If you're doing that, you need to say it is to 1 decimal place. 42.1% to 1 dp. This is the first way. The next way, which I usually teach my students, is we do percentage change. Your original price or your original percentage, your original price is always 100. My original, so if we're trying to find percentage, right? So percentage, we have left hand side, right hand side. Right hand side is what you're trying to find. You're trying to find percent. We know that your original price, which is your cost price, that is before any sale, is 100. So you're going to say if $2.35 is 100%, then 1 would be 100 divided by 2.35. But what are we trying to find? We're trying to find out how much is 99 cents. What profit is 99 cents? So 0.99 would be it. Once you find out for 1, you can find out for any amount. 100 over 2.35 multiplied by 0.99, which is basically the same thing here, would give you 42.1%. And that is how you would do it. If you are not comfortable with formulas, you can always just use your if, then, therefore method. When you're using that method, you do need to realize that the left hand side, right hand side is what you're trying to find out. Your then line is always to find for 1, which is your right hand side divided by your left hand side. Whatever is on your right hand side, in this case 100 divided by 2.35, right, divided by your left hand side. That would be for 1. Once you find the value for 1, you can find the value for any amount. I could have found the value if my profit was $100. I could have found the profit for 100. Right? And that is how you would have done this question here. And this is how you would have done January 2025. Okay, so now we're going to do May, June 2024, paper 2, number 1. Calculate the value of. Now, this is something I would not recommend to do. Try to do by hand. Like, show them what is 7.1% squared and what is 2.9 squared. I would use my calculator. Now, when you're using your calculator, you need to understand that your calculator finds exactly what it puts. Right? So if you put the square root of 7.1 squared, is going to find the square root of 7.1 squared. It will not know that you are trying to find the square root of 7.1 squared plus 2.9 squared. How would you do that on your calculator? Second function, square root, open bracket. Then you are going to put 7.1 squared plus 2.9 squared, close bracket. This is telling my calculator I want you to find the square root of whatever is in my brackets here. Press equal. This is your answer. Now, I am going to write down the full answer, and then we will do what they told us to do. The question says, well, this here you will say it's equal to, because again, this is 1 mark, right? So you don't need to show how you found the addition and those type of things. You just need to say this is equal to 7.6694199796. So basically you'll put square root of 7.1 squared plus 2.9 squared is equal to 7.6694199796. They wanted 2 significant figures. You start with the first 1, 2, draw a line. Anytime we draw a line, you look at the digit after the line or on the right hand side of the line to see if it is more than 5 or less than 5. It is more than 5, so you add 1 to the digit directly at the right hand side or in front of the line. So this is going to be 7.7 to 2 significant figures, and that is your answer for this one. So 2 decimal places, 7.6694199796. 2 decimal places, exactly what they say there is what you're counting. 2 digits after a decimal place. 1, 2, draw a line. Again, look at the digit after the line. 9, is it more than 5, less than 5? It is more than 5. Add to the 1, to the digit directly in front of the line, which is 7.67 to 2 dp's, and that is how you would have done this question right here. Then this one, find the following quantities in ascending order. I like to put, anytime you have different units like this, turn everything to the same. So I'm going to turn everything to percentage because it's easier like that. To change anything to percentage, you multiply by 100 over 1. So 12 over 25 multiplied by 100. 25 into 100 is 4. 4 by 12, so this is 48%. This is 46%. And this is 47%. Ascending order means it is going up. You're looking for the lowest to the largest. The largest is 48, which is 12 over 25. Below that is 47%. And below that is 0.46. And that would be the answer for this question. Let's go to the next one. Let me just zoom in. Right, this question here says easy consumer arithmetic. Part. Mahindra and Jaya shared 7,224 in ratio 7 to 5. How much more money does Mahindra receive than Jaya? First off, the order in which the ratio is in is the order in which the names are given. So we know that it's Mahindra, then Jaya. So Mahindra got 7 parts. Jaya got 5 parts. They want to know how much more money. What that does, that basically mean they want to know the difference between Mahindra and Jaya. So the difference in parts would be 7 minus 5. So how much more? He got 2 parts more. But they don't want it in parts, they want it in money. So first off, this 7,224 is the total number of money that was shared. So if we want to find the total number of parts, that would be 7 plus 5, which is 12 parts. So again, if then therefore, if, and then we have your left hand side, right hand side. What are we trying to find? We're trying to find out money. So money is going to go on your right hand side. So if 12 parts is equal to how much? 7,224. Then it's defined for always 1. Right? 1 part would be a right hand side divided by 12. Left hand side, 7,224 divided by 12. Therefore, we want to find the difference, which is 2 parts. So 2 parts would be 7,224 divided by 12 multiplied by 2. Right? 2 could go into 12 6 times, and then it's 7,224 divided by 6. or you can just divide it right here. Again, for questions like number 1, you don't want to spend too much time doing it. So I would say utilize your calculator when you can, rather than stick and try to solve, simple things like this. Alright, so this would be 1,204. 1,204, and that would be your answer for this question. Sorry. The present population of Plymouth is 550,000. It's expected that the population will increase by 42% by the year 2030. What is the number? Write the number 550,000 in standard form. Again, standard form means they want one digit in front of your decimal point. If you don't see your decimal point, any number, it is at the end, unless stated otherwise. You're going to shift this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 digits. We move our decimal point 5 places. So this would be 5.5 multiplied by 10. Again, always multiply by 10. And because we shifted to the left hand side, your power is positive in standard form. Right? How many places did you shift? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the power of positive 5. If you're not 100% certain if it's positive or negative, you can use your calculator. All you have to do is go on setup. You're looking for FSE 1. You're looking for scientific form, which is also known as standard form. You press 1, then you put that digit 550000. 4 zeros. Press equal. They gave you 5.5 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. So they did give you in standard form. You know that your answer is correct. So you move on. Again, set up FSE. You want normal. If you're not seeing normal, you press down. Normal is 3. Then you go on. So you know that that's how you would carry back your calculator to normal. Calculate the expected population of Plymouth. Now, this is percentage change. Your original percentage, this is something that you always should know. Original percentage, unless stated otherwise, is 100%. So we know that if 100% is equal to, what is the original population? 550,000. Then, again, always find for 1. 1 would be 550,000 divided by 100. Cross this out. If it can divide and you don't have any remainders or anything, you can divide it. 5500. 1% is 5,500. Therefore, now your new percentage or your percentage increase would be your original percentage is 100 plus 42. So it is 142% would be 5500 multiplied by 142. Alright? And then, or you could have found out for 42 and then add that value to 550,000. 5500 multiplied by 142 is equal to, that is in your population, 781,000. 781,000. Right, and that is how you would have done this question. Okay. Let's look at this question. The graph below is used between United States and Eastern Caribbean. Alright, let's zoom in because we'll need to zoom in. Convert $2 to EC. So 2 US, we're looking at 2 US. Alright, I'm just going to make the line a little bit smaller so we can see and put it in red. So in a graph, you would look at where is 2 US, it's here, and where it intersects the graph would be there. I need to zoom in. Alright, and then you go down. Exactly where it intersects your the EC, or where it intersects the Y. Where it intersects the graph, you go down. Alright, so this is $5 and each little block would be 20 cents, right? So this would be $5.30 if I am not mistaken. Let's let me go through that. I rushed that down. Hold on.
That's I put 540. So if you're off by just
No, that shouldn't be an issue. No.
okay.
Right. So if how you would do this, first off, let me show you this instead of me just explaining it. How you would do this is you would say we know that 5 of the small spaces is equal to $1. 5 spaces is equals to 1 EC dollar. We want to know how many. Now this graph, because it's a little bit, it's not, you're not seeing it clearly. It's subject to change, right? So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27 spaces. Yeah? So if 5 spaces is $1, then 1 space would be 1/5, and therefore 27 spaces would be 1/5 multiplied by 27/1, which is $5. 5 into 5, 1. 5 into 27 is 5. Remainder 2. So in this case, hold on. 5 5s are 25. Remainder 2 is $5.40 that I got. Right? And that would be your answer for this. And that is how you would do. This is how, not just this question, but in graphs in general, when you want to find out a value, you say how much 5 spaces, the 5 spaces equals to what unit. So 1 to 2 is only $1. Right? 1 to 2, the difference between 1 and 2 is $1. So you know 5 spaces stands for $1, and you want to find out how many spaces. Right? But yes, that's how you would do this question. Convert $70 to US. Now first off, we don't have 70 here, but we have 7. You need to recognize that 70, oh, I don't want this in red. You need to recognize that 70 EC is the same thing as 7 multiplied by 10. So if you can find out for 7 EC and convert that to US, then you simply just need to multiply it by 10, right? Because it's a multiple of 10. So again, you would use your not your calculator, you would use a graph. You go at 7, you go, oh, that is not a straight line. You go from 7, you go right up, and then you go right across. Same thing, we know that 5 spaces is $1. So 1 space is 1/5 or 0.2. So if we zoom here, that's $2, and then we have 1, 2, 3. 3 spaces would be 60 cents. So this would be $2.60. So we know that 7, let's make this bigger. 7 EC is equals to $2.60 US. So 70 EC was 7 multiplied by 10. So this would be 2.6 multiplied by 10, which is equals to 26 US. And that is how you would do this question, right? Because if you look at the graph here, it does not have, it's continuously going up, so there's no change in it. So you can just do, you know that we don't have 70. You see what is a multiple of 70? We see 7, right? 7 by 10. So to get that US dollar, we just multiply whatever 7 EC is in US by 10 to get how much is 70. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, makes sense to everyone? Okay, great. And that is it for May, June 2024. Okay. January 2024, express the single fraction in its simplest form. They did not say use calculator otherwise, so I would not just put the answer. I will have to show some type of working. This is a combination type question, meaning there's a combination of operations here. So according to that, we always follow BODMAS, right? BODMAS. That will remind me that I have to do brackets first. So that's 1 over 30 plus 4 over 15. When your denominators are different, we find LCM, which is 30. 30 into 31, that's 1. 15 into 32, multiplied by 2, that's 4 2s are 8. This is 9 over 30, which is equals to 3 over 10. So the question is now 1 minus 3 over 10. You can put 1 over 1, then find LCM 10. 1 into 10, 10. 10, that's 10 minus, right, that would be 7 over 10. And that is how you would do it, right? However, if you want to check your questions, you can use your calculator, put exactly what it has there. 1 subtract open bracket. Do not forget to open your bracket. 1 over 30 plus 4 over 15. Remember to close your brackets. Press equal. 7 over 10. Did we get our answer? Yes. And that is the answer for this one. Alright, then let's look at this question. A 2-story park has a total of 1,020 parking spaces. At 630 hours one morning, 1 over 30 of the 1,020 spaces are filled. During the next hour, no cars left the car park, but another 4 over 15 of the 1,020 spaces are filled. Determine the number of parking spaces that are not filled. This is 1 mark because you need to recognize that to find your number of parking spaces that are not filled would be, the amount filled would be 1 over 30 because they said none left. So filled in fractions is 1 over 30 plus 4 over 15, which we did already, is 3 over 10. And not filled would be your whole, which is 1 minus 3 over 10, which is 7 over 10. If you recognize that this long question, right, is these fractions, they give you the question in fraction form, then they give you it in word format. If you recognize that it is that, then this is 1 mark and you don't have to do a lot of working. All you need to say is when they say determine the number of spaces that are not filled, using that answer from above is 7/10 of your total number of spaces, which is 10201. Cross out this. That is 714 spaces. And that is how you would know that is why this question is just 1 mark and you don't have to do a lot of working. This question of the 1,000, and again you can use a calculator to check and see. 7 over 10 multiplied by 1,020, right? You don't just have to do it in your mind. If you want to use a calculator to make sure, this is how you check over. Of the 1,020 parking spaces, 20% are on the top level. How many parking spaces on the top level? This is 1 mark. 20% of that, that's basically what they're asking you. 20% is 20 over 100 multiplied by 1020 over 1. 151, that's 204. So the answer would be 204 parking spaces, or spaces would be a top level. And then they gave you this question. Let's just zoom up so we can see the question properly. Some of the spaces are reserved for monthly paying customers. The ratio, so that's from this, right? It's a continuation. Hold on, no. Some spaces are reserved for monthly paying customers. The ratio of reserved spaces to non-reserved spaces is 5:7. Calculate the number of non-reserved spaces. Okay. So we know it's a 5 to 7 ratio. And how many spaces do we have? So it's reserve to non-reserve. So you know reserve is 5 parts, non-reserve is 7 parts. We know that the total parking spaces above, was it 1020? Yeah. So this is the total parking spaces. The total number of parts would be 5 plus 7 is 12. Yeah. So we know that 12 parts is equals to 1020. Then one part would be 1020 divided by 12. And how many parts we're trying to find? Non-reserve, which is 7 parts. 7 parts would be 1020 divided by 12, whatever answer that is, multiply by 7, and that is your answer. So if I'm going to use my calculator. 1020 divided by 12 is equals to 85, multiplied by 7 is equals to 595. So again, that's how you would use. So non-reserve is 500 and, did I say 95? Yeah, 595. 595. Alright, let's look at E. The cost of parking spaces on a car park is shown in the table below. Oh my eye. Alright, let's read the first part. 30 minutes. Under 30 minutes, you get it for free. From 30 minutes to up to 2 hours. So the minimum is 30 minutes, the maximum is 2 hours. Would be $2.25. If you spend a minimum of 2 hours and a maximum of 4 hours, $5.50. If a minimum of 4 hours and a maximum of 8 hours, $9.25. Minimum of 8 hours and a maximum of 24 hours, $15. And you can buy a 1 week ticket instead of paying each day for $40. Right? Malika leaves her car at 1830 hours and pays $9.25. Determine the earliest time she arrived at the car park, meaning she spent her maximum number of hours. Yeah? So if she leaves the car park at 1830 and she's paying $9.25, that means her maximum amount of hours, the earliest, right? So that means determine the earliest time she could have arrived at the car park. So she could have arrived 8 hours earlier, right? So we know that would be 1830 subtract 8 hours, which is equals to 10 hours. Well, 1030 hours, which is 10:30 a.m. So determine the earliest time she would arrive at the car park, 10:30 or 1030 hours. However, 1030 hours. And that is how you would have done this question. The next question, Danraj bought a weekly ticket for $40. That week he visited the car park 5 different times. The length of time he spent on the car park on each occasion is given below. For 25 minutes, this would have been free. Right? Show that Danraj saved $8.50 by buying a weekly ticket. So for the first day was free. 7.5 hours would have been $9.25. 11 hours would have been $15 for the third day. 8.75 hours, that is not $9.25. It would be again 15 hours. 8 hours up to 8 hours. This would still be $15. Hold on. Up to 8. No. This is $9.25. Well, we'll see. They told you she saved $8.50. So we'll see if this is correct or if it could be $15. But they said 8 hours. And the question says up to 8 hours. More than 8 hours. 8 hours is not more than 8, right? So now for the total week, she would have, Danraj is not a she, is $9.25 plus 15 plus 15 plus 9.25 Use a calculator. 15 and 15 is 30. 9 and 9 is 1850. That means that it is 30 plus 1850, which is 30 plus 1850 is $48.50. That is how much he would have spent if he was paying each day, right? But he bought a ticket for $40. So amount saved is that 48.50 subtract $40, which is in fact $8.50. So you know that this is how she would have saved $8.50. Do we all understand this? Is there anyone who's confused? No? And this is 3 marks. This is an easy 3 marks. But 1 mark is to add up. 1 mark would be to determine which one, how much it cost for how many hours. Then the second mark would be to add up. And then the third mark would be to subtract. But I would tell you to show your working. So if you make a mistake, let's say adding or subtracting, the examiner can look at it and be like, oh, this is where she made the mistake. And you could still get, if not 3, you could get like 1 or 2 depending on wherever your error was. Right? May, June 2023, paper 2, number 1. Let's look at this question. Let me zoom in. Find the exact value of. They did not tell you anything like use a calculator otherwise. So I would say you can use a calculator to check it. However, show your working. Right, so the question is 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3 minus 12 over 35 multiplied by 7 over 9. What are you going to do? This is a combination question, so you have to use BODMAS. Is there brackets? No. Is there power off? No. Is there division? No. Is there multiplication? Yes. Multiply these two. 12 over 35. I would leave the subtraction for now. 12 over 35 multiplied by 7 over 9. 3, that's 4. 3 could go into 9, 3. 7 to 7, 1. 7 to 35, 5. This is 4 over 15. So now the question will become 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3 minus 4 over 15. Are we seeing that, guys? Anybody is confused? No? Okay. Then, according to BODMAS, we finished the multiplication. So we have to do addition and then subtraction. So we'll be adding those two numbers first. Right? Okay. So now, we are going to add. So you have to do this part first. 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3. LCM is 6 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2. That's 5 plus 4 is 9 over 6, which is equal to 3 over 2. So now the question is 3 over 2 minus 4 over 15. LCM for 2 and 15 is 30. 2 into 30 multiplied by 15 multiplied by 2. 3 by 13 is 45. Minus 4 2s are 8. Hopefully this is correct. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. 37 over 30. This is an improper fraction. So 3 and 7 over 30. That is your answer. Now, what you can do is you can use a calculator. You get your final answer. You're going to use a calculator to check to see if your final answer is correct or incorrect. If it is incorrect, then you see you see which one I did first and then which one I did second, and then finally what is the final thing I did. Then we would go step by step, right? So first off, your calculator understands that they have to do BODMAS. So if you put exactly this in the calculator, you will get your answer. 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3 minus 12 over 35 multiplied by 7 over 9. That is equal to 1 and 7 over 30. Alright, and that would be your answer for this question. Hold on, I put 3. 30 into 37 is 1. 1 and 7 over 30. So my answer is correct. However, let's just say you got a different answer. You would say, okay, let me multiply. Use the calculator. Did I get 4 over 15? Okay, that is correct. So let's check the addition. Did I get 40? Did I get 3 over 2? And then that is how you would see where exactly you're going wrong. Right? You can use your calculator. Your calculator does not take long to do. This is why I do encourage you guys to get your calculator now, so that you can get accustomed using a calculator rather than um rather than shucks, I forget to write it. Rather than rather than right before the exam you're using the calculator and you're trying to figure out where's over, where's this, where's that. Yeah? This question for sure, the next question you have to use a calculator unless they give you a table, and they don't do that anymore, but you know. But
As I left the question as 37 over 50.
uh
I see that this
always
exact 150.
always put your answer as a proper or mixed number. Never leave it as an improper.
Okay.
Yeah. This question here, you have to make sure that your calculator is in DEG. If it is not, press setup. You're seeing DRG 0, DEG 0. That is how you get DEG. If you don't remember that, just reset your calculator and your calculator. So if, let's just say, my calculator was in RAD, I can just reset my calculator. You see how it goes back to DEG? So it does automatically go to DEG. Yeah. Now, again, when you're using a calculator, your calculator will not understand that you want to find the whole square root of 1 minus 37 cos 37 squared. You need to let your calculator know that I need to find the total square root of that. And by doing that, how do we do this? By using your brackets. So second function x squared, which is square root, open bracket. So this is telling my calculator whatever is in this bracket is what I want you to find the square root of. 1 subtract, I would say put a bracket again, cos 37 close bracket squared. So it have open and close bracket, but we still need to close this bracket, right? Then you close it. Right? Again, you will tell the calculator, I need to find the square root of this, whatever is in the bracket. And your answer would be, they said 3 decimal places, so 1, 2, 3, so it'll be 0.602. So the exact answer for this was 0.60181503. 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, draw a line here, 8 is more than 5, add 1, 0.602 to 3 decimal places. Now please note, guys, the session is not going to be like this all the time. It's just I did not know my number 1 answers were like that. So from next week, please, next week we'll be doing number 2. So I will send you guys the number 2 questions, or you guys could request, if you have past papers, it's from 2025 to 2017 that we are trying to do. If you can't do all, that's fine. You can always use the channel to look at the questions, right? But this is just me showing the, to show you how questions come. Right? So the next session that we will be doing is we will be doing number 2, which is algebra, factorization, and those type of things. Don't need to worry about that right now. Right? But I'm just letting you guys know. This question, the first question says write 0.00527 in standard form. You can use a calculator like I showed you, or you can do it manually. You want 1 digit in front of your decimal point, so you shift it 1, 2, 3. So it'll be 5.27 multiplied by 10 to the power of what? Because you shifted to the right hand side in standard form, it's negative. How many places did you shift? 3, so it will be to the negative 3. And that is your answer. Part C, Harish works at a call center 35 hours each week. He is paid an hourly rate of $11.20. Calculate the amount of money Harish earns for 4 weeks. So we know that 1 week is equals to 35 hours multiplied by 1120. Right? So that would be 35 multiplied by 1120. I'm going to use my calculator. 11.2 multiplied by 35 is equals to 392. So for 1 week, he's earning 392. 392. Why am I not? Hold on. So we know for 4 weeks, which is a 4-week month, 4 weeks would be 392 multiplied by 4. 4 2s are 8, 9 4s are 36. 36. 4 3s are 12, 12, 13, 14, 15. $1,568. Or you can use a calculator. Again, your calculator is there as a friend. Multiply by, multiply by 4, which is 1568. So we do get the answer. Now, let's read what the next question says. This is 2 marks, so this is an easy 2 marks. Right? This is the last question for May, June 2023. In a certain week, Harish works 8 hours overtime. Overpaid hours are paid time and a half, which is 1.5 times the usual rate of $11.20 per hour. Calculate the total amount Harish is paid for that week. Okay. So first off, let's find out how much overtime it is. So overtime would be 8 hours multiplied by 1120 multiplied by 1.5 or 1.5. So his total overtime, use a calculator, or you could say 1 hour of overtime is 1120 multiplied by 1.5. So 8 hours would be how much of a 1 hour is multiplied by 8. But I'm just doing it in one go. Alright. 8 multiplied by 1120 multiplied by 1.5 is equal to $134.40. $134.40. Alright, and that is his overtime. Now we want to pay, so we know from above that his total would be his basic wage for 1 week plus his overtime wage. We know from above, that his basic wage was $392. So $392 plus $134.40, which is equals to 40. Then 4, 5, 6, 9, that's 12. 3, 4, 5. So $526.40 he would earn that week. If you're not 100% sure, again, use a calculator. You don't need to stress out yourself. 300, first off, let's just, I multiplied that. I got this. Then I'm going to add it to 392, which is $526.40. So you know that your answer is correct. And that is the end of May, June 2023. Let's start. So January 2023, we have by rounding off each number in the expression below to one significant figure, estimate the value of. So they told you to round off or approximate. So 108 to one significant figure. 1, you draw a line there. That would be 1, and everything after that line, this is 0, so you don't have to add no 1 to the number in front of the line. So everything is 100. This would be 100. Remember, everything after the line turns to 0. Right? 19.72. This is 1. You draw a line here. 9 is more than 5. Add 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So it'll be 2, 0. You don't need to put 20.00. It's understood that after a decimal point, it's 0. So we don't usually put 0.00 because it's all understood, right? 5.296 to 1 decimal place. 1. This is less than 5. So it will be 5.000. So the question is now square root of 100 divided by 20 plus 5. Square root of 100 is 10. 10 divided by 25 is equal to 5. And 5 is 2 over 5, which is, did they ask you? It's 2/5, or if you want to put it as a decimal, 0.4. And that is your answer for this number. That is how you would do this question. Alright, find the exact value of, again, they did not say use a calculator otherwise, so assume that you need to show all your working. You need to make sure and read the question properly. Yeah, so 1 second. Right, this one is 3 and 3 over 8 divided by 5 over 12 plus 1 over 3. This is a combination question, so you put BODMAS. Brackets first. So it is 5 over 12 plus 1 over 3. LCM is 12. 12 into 12. 1, 4. That's 5 plus 4 is equals to 9 over 12, which is equals to 3 over 4. So the question is now 3 and 3 over 8 divided by 3/4. 8 threes are 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. So 27 over 8 divided by 3 over 4. 27 over 8. When you're dividing, you multiply and then you flip your fraction after the division sign. So it'll be 4 over 3. 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 27, 9. 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 8, 2. So it is 9 over 2, which is equals to 4.5. Right? If you're not comfortable, or if you just need to check it very quickly, pull out your calculator. It does not take more than a minute to check this. 3 and 3 over 8 divided by, open bracket, 5 over 12 plus 1 over 3, close bracket, equals to 4.5. I got that, so we know that our answer is correct. Right, and you do need to show your working. Yeah? Okay, let's go ahead and do the next one. Hold on, is the next one? Or do I have something below? No? Next one. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the number of available seats in the hall was reduced from 125 to 93. Calculate a percentage decrease. So first off, this is an if, then, and therefore question. This is a percentage change. We know that our original, which is 125, is always 100. Right? So if calculate a percentage decrease. So first of all, this amount decrease would be 125 minus 93, which is equals to 32. 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. So if if 125 is equals to 100%, how do I know which side? Remember, left hand side, right hand side. Right hand side tells us what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out the percentage, so that's why your right hand side is percentage. Then it's to find for 1, which is equals to your right hand side, which is 100, over your left hand side, which is 125, which would be equals to 4 over 5. But you can leave it like that. Therefore, we want to find out for 32, which is equals to 4 over 5 multiplied by 32 over 1. Use a calculator. over 5 multiplied by 32 is equal to 25 and 3/5. That is such a weird answer. Did I subtract correct? Yeah, 5 minus 3 is 2. 12 minus 9 is 3. Yeah. 25.
That's like a 25.6%.
Yeah. 3/5 is if you trust put the ABC button.
But
Uh-huh.
I have a question, miss.
If you don't need to do all of this, if you want to do the formula route, which is what fraction is decreased, that would be 32 out of 125, and to change a fraction to percentage you just multiply by 100 over 1, which again is 25.6, and that is how you could do it. That's the next way to do it. Alright, but I am showing percentage change because again we see that this is not the first nor the last time I would be using this if then and therefore. That is why I tend to stick with this route instead of having to learn different formulas. Yeah. Let's look at this one. Is this the last question? I believe. Yeah, this is the last question. Now, this question was so lovely because they gave you your they gave you your formula and everything. Mika invests a certain amount of money. The amount invested is also always known as the principal, right? So we don't know the principal in the bank and pays a compound interest rate of 2.5% per annum. So the rate is 2.5. At the end of 2 years, the value of an investment is, so the amount is this. Calculate the amount Mika invests. So we know that 7564.50, that is the amount, is equal to P. We don't know what P is. Open bracket 1 plus 2.5 over 100 to the power of 2. We want to make P the subject, carry across, multiply by, which turns to divide by. So P would be 7564.50 divided by, open bracket, 1 plus 2.5 over 100 squared. So my principal is now, let's use the calculator. Seven five 64.50 divided by open bracket 1 plus 2.5 over 100 close bracket squared is equal to 7,200. So how much did she invest? 7,200. So they gave you the formula and everything. The only thing that was hard here was trying to make, or knowing the knowledge that the certain amount invested is principal. Yeah? And that is how you would do this question. And that is the end of our session for number 1. Alright, the next, yeah. So that is the end of the session again. Right, so that is the end of what January 2023. Again, if you want to go through the other number ones, there are other solutions in my channel. You just need to go ahead and look at it and you'll get the solutions to those. Yeah, next class or next free class we will be doing number 2s. The questions, that time the questions will be done. You guys need to do the questions and we will have just the solutions, and I will just be reminding you of the laws or the rules that you have to remember. Number 2 is based on algebra. You'll have factorization, you will have simplification of algebraic terms, whether it be quadratics or algebraic terms. You'll also have inequalities, as well as inequalities, and what else? I believe that is it. Yeah, that's it. You'll have algebraic expressions, whether it's addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, but it's basically just algebra, simplification, factorization, and inequalities. And that is number 2 that we'll be doing next week. Please let your friends know, and if anything, you could let me know, and I will send everyone the link for our classes.